Okay, let's see. Okay, I will. I'll start with doing these, which are cracks in the surface. I've already put some basic lacquer on them, and now I'll take it off and then reapply it. So. Okay. This is just it's just a regular kind of polishing compound. You could use other things like scrub for stainless steel sinks if you wanted. Let's see here. This really dried, so it's a little bit difficult to take off. Take it off with some tissue. This is a little bit different. This is for cleaning sinks, so it's a little rougher, rougher mesh. Okay. Okay. So that is this right here. It was like that. Now I'll do the same. It's a little difficult to see, but this side, here's the crack. So about right there. Let me draw a line. The line starts about right here and it goes to the top. It runs basically there. And the same here. This is more visible from the top down to the bottom. That's that. I'll do this other one and then reapply. Again, here you can just see this line from there to there. Okay, and that's so. If you're doing steps, this is step 2, I guess, because I applied it and now I just took it off. Now I'm going to apply it again. But before I apply it again, I'm going to clean this with alcohol because the lacquer, it's a mess with all this cleaner on it. So. Okay, there's that. Okay, it is okay. Let's bring the alcohol here. Okay. And then this one. Okay. So they're good. They just need to dry, and then I'll put the alcohol on the next application. And while I'm waiting for them to dry, I'll just clean this. So this is fixing just a crack, but what's called, it's not gonna work. Okay, I'll wait till it's dry. What is what I'm doing right now, which is this crack that you can't really feel with your finger. What you do is, now it'll work. Now it'll work. It's a new. So I'll put some, this is just kind of basic lacquer. And these are dry, so, ooh, spider. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Just fold this up to give you a good surface. You could use regular cotton if you wanted. Get some on there, that's really kind of too much, but it's okay. And then, again, you rub it into the area. It's not helpful if you had something, for example, that looked like that. You don't need that much on there, because it's you're just going to have to take it back off. We're only interested in what's going inside, so as a glue to shut the crack down. So that won't work. Okay, yeah, just take it off as best as you can. Good. And then the same thing here. That's the new right here. So just go. So what you do this, what I just did, put this lacquer back on, and then tomorrow or the next day, you take it back off. You can do that once or twice. It helps to heat these bowls up just a little, like to about 35 or so Celsius, and that'll widen out the body, expand the body, so it goes in easier. So that's that. Let's see. Next, I will do this, which is, it's gonna come off. Okay. This is a chip. The edge was chipped, and okay, it's not dry. I thought it was dry. It's not really dry, so I won't do much. Just a little bit. So this is a pretty rough. This is about a 400 sandpaper. It's a little maybe too rough. Yeah, okay. This is it's about 800. This will work better. Since this is wet, there's not really, it's flaking off. I need to let this dry a little bit more. Okay, forget this. It is, right now in Japan, it's cold, kind of cold, and this is not really curing, so yeah, it's not ready. Okay. I've just started my drying boxes, the Mudos again. So this is not, I'm not going to do anything with this. It's too wet. This is basically the same. It's I put this back, this piece, and there was two pieces, and then I filled the hole. Unfortunately, this chip is still wet, so I can't touch it, but I can touch this. Okay, so this is a little bit higher than this. So I want to take this out, but I want to leave a little bit. Okay, just the same thing here. Just get this clean somehow or another. So you can see here that this foot was broken from here to here and then chipped. But this piece itself already had a repair from before. I don't know who did it. It's not very good. Let's see. Yeah. If you just saw, I took 1 second. So I took this. This was basically right there. And so this is the back. So there's lacquer. And lacquer doesn't stick to glass that well, which the glaze doesn't stick to it that well, which is why it came right off. I don't know how much more. Okay, This looks like it's okay. This looks like it's beneath this is probably sabi. This whole thing is not done well. It's raised, so I'm just gonna do something, take it off or whatever. Okay, and okay. Let me get kind of mean here and just take it right off. Yeah. So this is, I don't know who repaired this. I just bought this a couple days ago. And it's not really possible to see, but you can kind of hear where it stops. That's because this is too high. So it needs to be taken down, shaved down. And it can be shaved down with anything. Probably, well, this might work. This 400. I think this is 400. So. Okay. It's better. It's much better. Let's see here. Okay. I don't want to scratch the glaze, so I'll use, this is a diamond, kind of a diamond tip tool, like a Dremel tool. See here? Okay. So this is a good high-fired body, which means a lot of different things. The glaze is not that easy to scratch. You could scratch it, but you'd have to, it's not something that will happen easily. Also, this sabi adheres a little bit better than if it was a low or middle fire body. So this is a fairly easy piece to get into shape to repair. That feels much better, though it's still high here. So you want to cut into. Okay, there is a lot. Again, if you look back, you would see this is not as obviously, doesn't as obviously have a front and back, but this was up on the glaze and it won't stick, so it comes off really easily. The only thing to really be worried about on this is, I don't know if you can see it, but this is all gold from the making. It's a glaze, a gold glaze, and this is the gold from the repair. You don't want to use this stone too much, or at all if possible, on this, because it'll come right off. So, but here I'm going to just take all of this excess sabi off. Excess in the case means it's on top of this glaze. It's not on top of it's not filling a hole. So okay, if you look here, it's difficult, or again, it's difficult, but so I come, this is a given and this is given. You don't want to go below, you can't go below this. Here you want to match this and this as closely as possible, so you bring your knife, it stops. That's what you can't see, but I'll tell you, it stops right there, so that means it's high. And you can pull it across and slowly shave off Okay, now it's good. Let's see here if it will. Yeah, it slides easier. It's still a very little bit high. No big deal. So okay. Let's see here. So this is basically, I didn't plan on working on this, but in fact I didn't do that yet, but this is now better. I didn't even realize this needed work. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. This is, right here, is actually damaged. That is a chip. It's not, it won't show up in the camera, but the breakage goes like this. There's a deep hole here, and then there's kind of a, it's not a spalling really, but a kind of a very thin break here. So next what I'll have to do is come back in here with sabi here and here. I don't know if this will illustrate it. That did, but it's hard to see. If you come here, it dips down and hits right there. That means this is lower than this. This little bit is lower than that. So at any rate, this, what I'll do after is I'll put some sabi in there. And then this is actually what I was planning on doing today, is right here. This is still wet, really wet, so I'm just going to leave it alone. So okay, good. So what I'll do is, in here is a hole. You can see this black, not very well, but you can, there's a black area here. It needs to be filled. This I'll leave. There's some minor things like this is sticking out. This side looks pretty good as far as it's going so far. I'll show you one more project just before I finish today. This is a vase I'm putting back together, and I have I've reattached this, and before I put this top on where there only be a small access hole, I'm going to completely finish working this too. I'm not going to put gold on it. The outside will have gold, but the inside won't. But I'll put black lacquer on it, so it looks nice if someone looks in there, and then it helps with the sealing off, making it waterproof. So okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you in 2 weeks.